Good morning. How's everyone? So we'll start with Bitcoin this morning because we've had a bit of a breakout. So we were looking at on Monday night down here, and we were having this sharp selling, lots of bad news, Mt. Gox bad news, ETF bad news. It was clear then that we hadn't really completed a correction in terms of size relative to the other corrections, and that we were looking for another leg higher. I've got a 4-hour chart up here, and I was just looking at this range. We were in this sideways consolidation range with flat moving averages, and this morning and overnight we've broken out from it. Because this is a double bottom, and we've got this pivot in the middle, we can measure first target just using simple double bottom rules. When you have a double bottom, then you go twice the distance from the sort of M in the middle, which gives us a first target in Bitcoin upside of 7070 in Bitcoin dollar. So that's our first target I've got marked in the pink here. And if I go up to the daily chart, I just want to see how close, because if we go beyond this, and in fact what we do is an equal measured move with this first swing, that's going to take us to this big back test of this fib level, the 618 fib, and it's also going to take us back to the 200-day moving average. So if we measure from here, this swing higher, could we potentially be setting up a test of this 200-day? Well, the first leg, if we do make a second swing that's 618 of this first leg, that also lines up with 7070. So we've got kind of twice the amount of confluence here now. So, but if we make an equal measured move, then we get to 7670, and that would be quite something, because that puts us above that 200-day moving average that's capped us for so long. Well, since March anyway, the highs in March and the highs in May. So, obviously we would then have to hold above the 200-day moving average on a back test, and this is quite a ways away. But the important thing today is that we've broken out of this sideways range in Bitcoin, and we've broken above the daily 50 moving average. This is a bullish pattern. Whenever you break above a 50 moving average, it becomes support, and you should see really good follow-through moves to the upside. So I'm looking for 7070 and maybe 7670 in Bitcoin on this daily bullish reversal. And if you're looking for pullbacks because you didn't get any Bitcoin, you missed the move, something like this, then, 15-minute pullbacks for me, I'm going to use a Heikinashi to watch it, because I like to see it go red and then go green again. And we really shouldn't come back much below 6,600. So look for pullbacks towards 6,600 to buy, target 7,070 in Bitcoin. In Ethereum, we're continuing to squeeze higher. I'm looking for an ABC move in Ethereum, and I'm looking for, more importantly, this. I'm making sure I'm drawing this right, and I haven't pulled it in a bit too tight, which I think I might have. Okay, so there's a couple of reasons why I'm looking for this 250 level to be resistance. First off, it's this declining wedge trend line resistance from the highs that we made in May. Second off, it's the spike low from the 14th of August. So it's a back test of the August lows. But more importantly, in ETH dollar, we've got an ABC. That's where our ABC correction would also be. So if this first swing higher here, second swing. So around 250, actually 252. I've got this marked at 249, but 252 is the measured move level that we should be looking out for. So I think it's a pretty much sure thing that that's where ETH is headed to, and then we see what happens there. If you're looking for a level to sell ETH, 252 wouldn't be a bad one. So that's ETH dollar. Next one we're going to look at is Ripple. What a spectacular move we've had in Ripple. We really have had. Now, I'm not going to get into is Ripple a shit coin or not. Is a Ripple a great? There's so much argument about whether Ripple is any good or not, and whether the banks will use it. To be quite honest, as technical traders, it doesn't matter. If everybody thinks it's great, the price is going to go up. So if we can separate our emotions, then we can get really good trades from it. So That's how. And so even so, because we're going to, and this is a good attitude to have because we're going to talk about Bitcoin Cash next as well. So here in Ripple, here's our breakout. Because this is a higher low, I'm going to project swings from this ABC, and potentially we've got a bit of a cluster and a support and resistance level here around 0.496 in Ripple dollar, where we could see a little bit of a pullback. It's not my first target though. My first target is 50% of this bigger swing lower, and that's a little bit higher at 6058. So I think that we've reached a pullback level here. So now we need to talk about in Ripple, where are we going to pull back to most likely, because as you know, I'm long. I'm going to stay long at the moment. So if this is our first swing higher in Ripple here, from the low on the 13th of August, this is our higher low, so another swing. So we're going to put our fibs retrace on from this lower high here if we think this is a wave 3. And the most common retrace level for a wave 3 is the 38.2. Sometimes it comes back to the 50. So I'm going to mark these two here levels like this. So I think most likely in Ripple dollar, 0.407 is where we come back to, but we could potentially come back to 0.3775. Okay, so that's the first thing. That on the hourly, now I'm going to measure it. So I've still got my regular candles on. So if we measure an ABC correction, let's see where we might end up. And that gives us an equal measured move back to this 382 fib level as well. So this is where I'm looking for support, ideally in Ripple. Two levels. First off, it's 0.404 to 0.407. And if we just make a shallower one or a triangle where the second leg is 61.8 of the first leg, then it's 0.4324 in Ripple. So there, I'm going to tidy up now. 0.4324. So those are my two support levels, 0.4324 and 0.405, 0.404. Good luck. One of those two should catch us, and then we carry on higher back to next target, our 50% level at 0.6044 in Ripple. Okay,